You're watching Hindustan Times, and I'm Aditi Prasad. I have with me today BJP spokesperson Guru Prakash Paswan to talk about the Bihar elections. You know, the outcome of the Bihar elections is really up in the air. Incumbent Nitish Kumar is being attacked not just by the Mahagathbandhan, but also by friend turned foe Chirag Paswan. The RJD Congress combine, in fact, is going all out to target defeating JDU in all the 122 seats allotted to them. And so is Chirag Paswan, by the way. In this scenario, the BJP will need a massive hit weight to pull off an NDA government in Bihar. I have, and as I said, Guru Prakashji, thank you and welcome for joining us on the show. Tejasvi Yadav today has taken a swipe at the BJP, saying that the world's largest party does not have a chief minister face. Do you today regret not having a chief minister face, given the fact that Nitish Kumar is being targeted from all sides and faces anti-incumbency?
Aditi, at the very outset, I would like to thank you for having me here in this discussion. I have been a very keen follower of your discussion, and I often learn from the serious political discourse which I read in your newspaper or I see it on the online content as well. So, as far as the question is concerned, I think the topmost leadership of our party, be it the National President Shri JP Natta or the former National President and the present Union Minister of Home Affairs Shri Amit Shah, they have time and again reasserted their faith and reaffirmed that our leadership is going to be done in the state by the Chief Minister of Bihar, Shri Nitish Kumar. For the last 15 years, he has a track record of clean governance. He has delivered, be it the fundamental requirement of Bijli, Sadak, Pani, and going beyond that in terms of institution building, in terms of status of women, in terms of law and order. There are multiple socio-economic indicators on which the present leadership has done phenomenally well. So there is no point of any question or any confusion when it comes to leadership. As far as the NDA is concerned, the NDA in Bihar consists of four important political parties: us, the Bharatiya Janata Party, the Janata Dal United, the Hindustan Awam Morcha, and the Vikashshil Insan Party. Apart from the idea of development, we also have a formidable social alliance in favor of us. So I would not like to comment on whatever Shri Tejasvi Yadav has said. Shri Tejasvi Yadav has a very limited experience, and we all know about his education qualification and his political exposure and the sort of journey he has had in politics. But we are set. We are going to the election under the leadership of Shri Nitish Kumar with the blessing and the guidance of Shri Narendra Modi at the center. And for the first time, let me be also very clear with you that I am someone who has grown up in Bihar and has closely watched the first 15 years and the second 15 years, which has been the last 15 years. So right. The situation in Patna, like I come from Patna, I teach at Patna University, and I'm constantly in touch with the young students, the aspirational students as well. So the situation has fundamentally shifted. People now want to have conversation not around caste, but around development, around opportunities. How are we going to deal with the aspiration of the new Bihar, the young Bihar?
So let me then talk about development and opportunities, and let me talk about another area that both Tejasvi Yadav and now Chirag Paswan have been targeting your chief ministerial face, Nitish Kumar, on, which is unemployment. Now, the latest CMI, one of the recent CMI surveys I was looking at, and it pegs Bihar's unemployment at 46.6%, which is almost double the national rate. And it's only going to, I'm sure it's only gotten worse over the last few months with thousands and lakhs of migrants from Bihar returning to their home state. Clearly, development, growth is obviously coming to a standstill because of COVID. How is it that then you are still standing tall on the development plank and on the growth plank, on the employment plank?
Thank you so much for raising the question on employment, and I'm actually been wanting for having a very meaningful conversation on issues that actually matters for Bihar. So even I had a look at the Center for Monitoring of Indian Economy data, and this is the latest data. The data which you are quoting, it's an old data. I agree it was an old data of 46%, and it has been 6 or 7 months since then. But the data which was released in the month of September, the unemployment rate in Bihar was 11.9%, which is lower than Delhi. Delhi is 12.5%, Rajasthan is 15.3%. So the CMEI data, I think you could have a fresh look in terms of the data which was released in the month of September. As
Yes,
far as
I'm
the question,
talking about
as far
the
as the question
April
of growth is
period.
concerned,
This is
yeah,
just as the lockdown began.
yeah, correct. So the data which was just released in the month of September, I would urge you to have a look on that. As far as the question of growth is concerned, Aditi ji, let me be very clear with you that the gross state domestic product of Bihar in 2005 was 76,000 crore. Now in 2019-20, which is the Economic Survey of India report, tells me that it is 4,14,000 crore. The GSDP has fundamentally increased more than quadrupled in the last 15 years. And we can have argument on that, but as far as I'm concerned, the question is sorted. Unless and until there is economic growth, you cannot redistribute it. So growth and development of social infrastructure is something which can go simultaneous, is something which can go side by side. As far as the important indicators are concerned, and I'm happy that we are having a conversation on that. I'm time and again saying that.
Right.
Infant mortality rate, 2005, ITG 61. 2019, 34. Maternal mortality rate, 2004, 312. 2020, 149. The number of murder cases which was registered in 2001, 3,619. 2019, around 3,000. And this is when, in the 2 decades, the population growth rate has been almost 20%. So, likewise, you see female political participation as well. This is for the first time that meaningful issues are being raised. I think you would have observed, as a keen political observer yourself, that since 2014, the sort of discourse in the elections of Bihar has been serious. Because pre 2014, the discourse was like, if you would remember, Bura Bal Kaat Dalo, this
Yeah, yeah.
caste, community, social arithmetic, social
There is,
alliances.
there is
For
no
the first time,
denying.
we are witnessing a positive and a constructive conversation around the issues that actually matter to the state and to the people of the states, RPG.
So, when you talk about the issues that actually matter to the state, and you, of course, have rightly corrected me as far as CMI data is concerned, and yes, Bihar has improved considerably. But having said that, the return of the migrants, are you saying that the migrants you feel are in your corner? Because it doesn't look like from the opposition attack, because the opposition is all going out to sort of they're taking the story of migrants and talking about it at every rally that they are convening, and they're talking about their plight.
Aditi ji, that's again a very important question that you have raised, and I'll be very honest with you that the level of seriousness with which the government of Bihar dealt with the issue of migrants was very important. The government of Bihar took it on priority. 5,300 rupees was spent on each and every returning migrant. The situation of the centers where people were staying, the migrant brothers and sisters were staying, you could go and have a look over that. The amount of food, the quality of food, in fact, today I read this in today's newspaper that in some of the centers, Amazon and Flipkart have now developed an MOU, and they're developing Madhubani painting masks as well. And this was in today's newspaper. So how can you turn an adversity into an opportunity? And I'm sure you would have read the newspaper that the ICMR and the experts are now saying that we might have hit the peak as well. So the timely implementation of a lockdown, which was a very brave decision on the part of Prime Minister, considering the size of the country, considering the size of the population, that has eventually paid off. And it was unprecedented. This crisis, I'm sure you would agree with me, the pandemic was unprecedented. No country in the world would have imagined. But as of today, as we stand today, the ICMR again has told us that the recovery rate in Bihar is more than 95%. The number of rates in Bihar is more than 1.5 lakhs every day. The tests which we are conducting, more than 1.5 lakhs every day. And the situation has now built off. The status of hospitals, now it's not a difficulty. You go to any hospital in Patna, be it the PMCH, be it the AIMS, be it the dedicated COVID hospitals. It's very easy, it's very convenient to find a hospital bed for yourself.
Be that as it may, Guru Prakashji, there is a very, no other state is going to polls. Just as the COVID crisis is. it's still in full momentum, and no other state is going to polls, and therefore the electorate is likely to judge whichever party is the incumbent party in that particular thing a little harshly. Do you believe that the NDA may bear the brunt of the anti-incumbency factor, especially given the fact that it comes at the time of COVID, especially on also, you pointed out all the good aspects of COVID handling, but there have also been horror stories that have come out from various states, including Bihar, and there are two ministers, who've died within a week, and the opposition attack is only intensifying.
See, I agree. And I also said in my initial observation of your previous question that this crisis was unprecedented. This pandemic was something which was never seen before by any policymaker of the country. Regardless of that, what we have done has been considerably fine. And your question in terms of handling anti incumbency. As a student of politics myself, as a keen observer of politics, there are three important indicators to tell you that there is anti incumbency or not, whether there has been a corruption charge or not. Point number one, the status of women in the state. Point number two, and law and order issues. So, as a student of politics, I have seen that these three factors, if these are an issue in the election, then there is anti incumbency. But otherwise, there is no semblance of anti incumbency. See, in terms of law and order, like I said, National Crime Records Bureau, published by the Ministry of Home Affairs, have told us that the Bihar position is number 23. As far as the status of women is concerned, you see, in terms of women in politics, and this is the data by the Election Commission of India, and you would agree with me, even this time, the number of women who have got the tickets for assembly election is phenomenal by the NDA candidates. In 2005, having affirmative action for our women folks in the local self-government, Bihar was the first state through the enactment of Bihar Panchayati Raj Act 2006. In terms of scam, you see, our chief minister, our leadership has proven it. And in fact, he's known as Mr. Clean in your media circles as well. So there is no question of anti-incumbency. But like I said, till now, what we have done is that the fundamental, or what we call in Hindi, the bunyadi cheezein has been taken care of. The next 5 years, like we have given this slogan, Jan Jan Ki Pukar, Atmanirbhar Bihar, it's going to be focused on innovation, entrepreneurship. How do you develop an ecosystem and institution building so that the people of Bihar stay in Bihar, and Bihar on 10th of November, you would see, would re-elect a government, and it would put Bihar on the path of progress, development, and respectively join the committee
Yeah.
of states in the
I'm going
country.
to interrupt. I'm going to interrupt you there because I know you have only a few minutes left, and you have another appointment after this. I want to talk about Chirag Paswan factor. We all know that that in Bihar, elections are mostly a three-legged race. There's BJP, JDU, RJD. With the manner in which, if any two of them come together, it almost spells a victory. So multiple endorsements have, from Amit Shah to to all your top leaders have come for his chief ministership, which you're reiterating also here. Do you think that it was a way to preempt Nitish falling back into RJD's arms? Were there any fears at any point of time within the BJP that Nitish Kumar would go back with the RJD like in 2015?
See, you have to understand one thing that, and I think I would be reiterating what my leadership has said time and again, that this election is all about NDA. This election is all about making Bihar Atmanirbhar Bihar. So as far as the question of Chirag ji is concerned, Chirag ji is an ally with us at the center, but the leadership has time and again said that there were no negotiations and a respectable number of seats were offered to the Lok Janshakti Party. But it would not be appropriate for me to comment he is aspirational enough or he wants to become the chief minister of the state. He has every right. Like he has every right. He has every autonomy.
What
His
about
party
the
is an independent
speculation?
party. His party can do whatever they want to do.
What about the speculation that he's BJP's B team? He's attacking Nitish, embracing Modi, saying, I'm his Hanuman, mera sina cheet ke dekh lo. What does this really mean? I mean, he's talking in a dual tone. It's kind of smells like he is the BJP's B team, and he is sort of looking at a post-poll a plan and a way for the BJP to get rid of Nitish at one go. These are speculations voiced by various people. I'm asking them of you.
Aditi ji, not at all. Not at all. Let me be very clear with you on this platform that I would like to put on rest all such speculation which are being raised by a section of opposition and a section of media. Our leadership has time and again said that it's going to be Nitish Kumar ji all the way. Even if BJP get larger number of seats as compared to JDU like we have done in 2005. For us, Gadbandhan Dharm. If you remember, Gadbandhan Dharm, the word has been introduced by the BJP in the political lexicon of the country. And as far as Chirag ji is concerned, let me give you a data that
Yeah.
over the course of the last 20 years, when Chirag ji's party, Lok Janshakti Party, was formed, they have contested on four important elections: 2005 two elections, 2010 one election, and 2015 one election. In the course of the last 20 years and in the course of the last four assembly elections, they have contested on almost 498 seats. The victory, 44 seats. The percentage of victory, 9%. So you would know the sort of organization he has on the level of district or division and the decentralization which we have. In terms of organizational network, we are formidable. In terms of issues, we are formidable. So there is no question as such of speculation arising whether we would align with him or not. Our leadership has said it's going to be Shri Nitish Kumar all the way. And on November 10th, you would see the results, NDA with two-thirds of majority under the leadership of Shri Nitish Kumar.
So what I hear from you, what I hear you saying really is that you don't believe that there will be any vote cutting due to due to Chirag Paswan's exit.
Chirag Paswan ji, in terms of politics, he has been an insignificant player. We had a great amount of respect for Ramvilas Paswan ji. He has been a leader of the masses. He has been the leader of the subaltern. But as far as Chirag ji is concerned, he still has years and decades in front of him in terms of public life. He has to prove his mettle. You see, the young people of Bihar, the young Biharis, like I said, they are aspirational. They have their mental awareness as well. Now you cannot impose leadership on them. You have to prove your own mettle. You have to interact with them. You have to establish a connect with them. Ram Vilas ji was having a connect with them. Now, as far as the question of leadership of Chirag ji is concerned, it is yet to be tested. Only time will tell how successful he or
My,
his party will be.
my last question to you, Guru Prakash, is about the post-poll scenario. There are uh, you know there have always been murmurs about Nitish Kumar being not very comfortable with being in the BJP fold, but politics is makes for strange bedfellows. He's been in the BJP fold for the past few years now, despite a little divorce in between. Post poll, do you envisage a situation like Maharashtra emerging?
Not at all. Not there won't be any question of such a situation because it's a one-way election. See, I'm live for this show in Patna. Our people, our party workers, our party leadership, they're roaming around the entire state, and the sort of feedback which we are getting is extremely positive. Let me be very clear with you. On 10th of November, NDA with more than 200 seats will be victorious, and the next Chief Minister of Bihar is going to be Shri Nitish Kumar. There is no question of a situation like Maharashtra coming up in Bihar.
All right, thank you, Guru Prakash. I know you have to go. It's 5:25, and I said I will free you up at 5:25 sharp for your next appointment. But thank you so much for joining us and giving us the perspective about what is the BJP's gambit as far as the Bihar 2020 election is concerned, the role of Nitish Kumar, the role of Chirag Paswan, you say, is an insignificant player, and Nitish Kumar is really your chief ministerial face, and you do not see any way in which that alliance can be broken or a Maharashtra-like situation emerging post the elections. Thank you so much for joining us, and we
It
hope
has
to
been a wonderful experience talking to you, Aditi ji. It has been a wonderful experience talking to you, and I look forward to speaking again with you on November 10th. Thank you so
Yes, thank
much.
you so much. Look forward. Bye bye. Thank you.